Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be doing a video all about what is the most attractive thing about you and how can you manifest more of this attraction, and to help you manifest more in your life, how to empower yourself and how to become your most sensual self. So please choose your group. We have group number 1, group 2, group 3 and group 4. Please choose your group now. And let's get started. We're going to cover all the bases. We're going to make sure you feel really good after this. Pick a card and let's get started. All the timestamps will be down below in the description box and in the comment section down below. So let's get started. Hello group number 1, let's get started with your reading. So let's see what is the most sexiest thing about you and how to embrace it. So we have the Fool and we have the Secrets card in the reverse. So I feel like for you guys, the most attractive thing about you is the fact that you're very ambitious and you're somebody who possibly has a lot of secrets. You're quite a secretive person. You're possibly somebody who keeps yourself to yourself. I feel like you're somebody who is has quite an intense personality. I feel like you're very much a Mars-driven person. That may be that you have quite a lot of masculine energy within you, or your sign is very much ruled by Mars. So this could be your rising, your moon, your sun sign. It does feel like a sign that's more present at the start of your birth chart. So most likely you're an Aries or a Scorpio or something like that. So with the Fool card, I feel like you guys are going to have a really good time and you manifest the most when you actually embrace your leadership skills. You're somebody who's very, very much a leader. You're somebody who really likes to be the first to do something. You may be quite competitive, which could also be something that you could be working on. And I feel like with the Secrets card, most likely you have a lot of 12th house energy, or you're somebody who is very good at kind of holding on to secrets and being the secret keeper of other people, like your friends and your family. You kind of keep all the secrets. It could be that you had a lot of secrets within your family and therefore you may have kept that kind of going within your family or in your life. But I feel like also is you're somebody who you could also be quite mysterious. You're somebody who kind of keeps yourself to yourself and you don't really like to reveal too much. You could have quite a lot of Scorpio, Aries, Capricorn or Taurus elements in your chart, where you're somebody who is very stable, you're very driven, but you can be very, very intense, and that can actually be a really, really good quality because it means you're really driven. You like to be the first, you like to be the sort of person that has all the ideas, and I feel like this is something that could manifest into a lot of anger, which I feel like that's something that you are working on. But the most sexiest quality is the fact that you are very proud, you're very like headstrong, and you're somebody who doesn't really give up on kind of anyone telling you what to do. So let's get some more tarot. We're going to see how this is kind of manifesting as your most sexiest self. So let's start off with the tarot and we're going to see what else wants to come through. Okay, we have the Two of Swords. We have the Six of Swords. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Okay, so I feel like for you guys right now, I feel like you're kind of digging into something. I'm getting this really intense need to look into something deeper. So I feel like this could be a lot of shadow work that you're doing, but I also feel like there's a sense of like rewriting yourself. I feel like you're rewriting a lot of trauma and things that people have kind of put on you. And I feel like you have possibly been attracted to very dominant people, especially if you are somebody in a opposite sex relationship. Most likely somebody you're attracted to is very masculine. You're kind of letting go of this almost like narcissistic energy, and narcissism, anyone who kind of reveals those traits. So with this energy, you're kind of flipping it around, and I feel like that energy you're going to embrace within yourself, that kind of leadership energy, and kind of being that really, really strong kind of headstrong energy. Excuse me. So I feel like you guys are very sexual people. I feel like you're very, very sexy. I feel like you're somebody who very much embraces your sexual side, which is so good. I feel like people in relationships will really appreciate that. And if people don't appreciate that, this is going to be a kind of sign to let them go, because basically your sexual side is so important, especially if you are a female as well. I mean, everyone's sexual energy is extremely important, but especially those of you who are feminine, because a lot of the feminine has been repressed through history. And it's really important for us females to really embrace our sexual side and to really embrace our side of us. That's very, very, it's just really important, because that's kind of where our sexual energy is at. That's where our sacral chakra is. So what's really beautiful about you guys is you're really much in your heart a lot of the time. You do get hurt quite easily, but this is because you're such an intense person that you won't ever stop to like be there right in the relationship, whichever relationship you have, whether it be romantic, family, friends, you're always there straight away. And I feel like you're somebody who will hold the sword for people. And picking up holding the sword, you'll have people's back a lot of the time. I do feel like the relationship you're going to have with your next person, or the relationship you're currently going to have, the best next relationship you're going to have, so if it's not the current one you're in right now, it's going to be your future relationship. It's going to be with somebody who's going to dedicate themselves to you. And I feel like if they don't, then they're not the right person, because I feel like you're such a beautifully creative person. You're somebody who doesn't back down when it comes to conflict. And I feel like you're somebody who will always big up your girlfriends or your guy friends. You're somebody who's like the mother or the dad of the friendship group. You're somebody who's very much there when people need you. And I feel like you're somebody who needs to really big yourself up. I think you're very much there for other people. But when it comes to yourself, there's a sense of like needing to big yourself up, because you're very much an emotionally connected person. And it can be a really, really beautiful thing, because you're very much very, very present in the moment. I do feel like meditation will really help you guys, because sometimes you can get too much in your head, but also to embrace your loving and open, sensitive side, and to know that that's a beautiful quality. I also feel like you've had quite a lot of surprises in your life where you've been quite triggered and it's really affected your heart chakra. I feel like one big thing you're going to learn in your next relationship or in your relationships is to really open your heart chakra and to let yourself be vulnerable, because you're somebody who, as I say, you love very deeply, and that's a really beautiful quality. And I feel like this is something that's going to be coming into your life very, very soon. If you are single, I do feel like you can expect a relationship quite soon. There's definitely this new energy of just embracing this newness. There's just this new opportunity coming towards you in terms of just freedom. I feel like it's a big sense of freedom, and I feel like you guys need to stop being so hard on yourselves. I feel like you do restrict yourself when it comes to what your needs are and what you deserve, and I feel like you're going to start to embrace that, which is really, really lovely. So let's have a look and see what else you guys are, how sexy you are, how attractive you are, and what sort of other personality traits we can really focus on here. Okay, so let's have a look and see. Okay, so we have Venus, we have Aries, which is lovely. So you could have your Venus in Aries. We have Neptune. We have Libra. We have the 10th house and the 4th house. So for you guys, you could be an Aries, a Libra, or any of the other signs that I mentioned. I feel like you guys are really working on your stability, and I can't speak. When you guys are in any sort of connection with anyone, you're the sort of person who is probably the most stable in that connection, because you're somebody who creates stability for others, and it's very Cancerian. It feels very much like this soft energy of like nurturing and caring. And I feel like for you guys, you are the sort of person that will always kind of have other people's back, and it's very, very like a really strong, passionate person. You're somebody who's really, really passionate. And I feel like for you guys, you can really embrace your sexual energy by becoming more passionate about what you do. Because as I say, you are very Mars driven, and I feel like this is something that can really help you to gain more money, gain more friends, because you're somebody who can actually embrace a very, very big essence of yourself and really allow that Mars energy to come through. But it's making sure that you're not around things that make you feel less passionate, because that's going to make you feel more uncomfortable in your own energy. So we then have the 4th house of oranges and the 10th house. Most likely you could have a really beautiful career by working from home or around your home, or working in a place that makes you feel like home. This is going to make you feel your most sexiest self, because you're going to feel really, really comfortable within your energy. I also feel like letting people in who are emotional around you. If you are somebody who has been quite closed off for quite a few years, you're going to learn to open yourself up, and that's going to allow more people to come towards you who are also very open. I feel like for you guys, you'll learn to love, you'll learn to open up your heart more, you'll learn to be more vulnerable, and that's a really beautiful thing. And to embrace this is to really allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to open your heart chakra, and allow yourself to be seen, because you are a beautiful person. And I feel like you really kind of, I feel like for some of you, there's a sense of like dumbing yourself down around people who you're attracted to, so you become more attractive. And for you, it's kind of, you are abandoning that beautiful essence that you have, your authenticity. So never feel the need to kind of adjust yourself or change yourself for anyone around you, because you may have been taught that from childhood, and I feel that's something you're learning to release. And that's basically how you become your most sexiest self. So we then have transparency. This is all about you guys becoming really transparent about what your needs are, and basically forgiving anything from the past who has basically quote unquote wronged you, who's made you feel like less than, and have made you feel like you're not yourself, okay? And then we also have the card of strength. You guys have been going through a lot of transformations, and it's been really causing you to feel like you're not good enough. And I feel like for you guys, you possibly haven't had the confidence to make any more moves forward in terms of like being in a new career, buying something expensive, because you feel like there's a sense of like not being good enough. I feel like there's a really strong need for you to let go of the control and just kind of introduce yourself to anything new that you're really drawn to, like really use your intuition, because I feel like you're really writing how your soul is, basically you're coming back to your authentic self in your soul. And I feel like there's a big sense of forgiveness here, and just let yourself be patient with yourself as well. I feel that's a really good thing for you guys to do. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope it resonated. If you would like a private reading or a look at my crystal shop, all the information is down below. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hello, group number 2. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started with your reading. Let's see what's the most sexiest thing about you and how to embrace it. So we have the card of, what is this? This is the Hanged Man. Is this in the reverse? Yes, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Okay, it took me a long time. Yeah, okay, that's in the upright. So we have the 6th house of service, and we have the card of the Hanged Man in the reverse. So, oh, for you guys, you're the sort of person who has a lot of standards. You possibly have a lot of fixed sign energy in your chart, or you have a lot of earth in your chart. You're somebody who has a lot of kind of restrictive energy. You're somebody who has been quite restrictive over what you like and what you dislike, and possibly you're quite strong in your beliefs. I feel like what's really sexy about you is you have a lot of kind of authenticity. You're somebody who won't back down under pressure, and you're somebody who is really good at helping people to transmute a lot of their energy around health and a lot of their energy around kind of transformation. You possibly could be a therapist, a counsellor, somebody in nursing, somebody as a doctor. It could be something like that, something in the caring profession. You're somebody who is very, very caring. You're somebody who is very, very loving. You're always somebody to help everyone out. I do feel like you possibly have had a lot of your life where you felt very, very restricted. I feel like you've possibly been around people who were quite narcissistic. And I feel like what's really beautiful to embrace about you is to really let yourself not be so restricted by things that you enjoy. So kind of almost letting go of self-sabotage, where you can really go for things that you enjoy, and moving more into self-care. So self-care can be different for everyone. It's kind of like if you're somebody who wakes up very late every morning and you really don't enjoy that, because some people do, but if you really don't, you really allow yourself to actually wake up at a certain time every day, and you're really kind of, your boundaries are really strong within who you are, because this allows you to feel much more sexy within yourself, and therefore embrace this sexier side of you, because people start to be drawn to you more when you have very strong boundaries. And also you're not going to let people kind of push you around. And I also feel like you're somebody who has quite a lot of Virgo in your chart, so you may have had a lot of health problems in the past. And I feel like for somebody, I feel like you're also, what's very, very sexy about you is with your body, you're very, very touchy-feely. I feel you're very sensitive with your touch. So you're most likely, your love language is a sense of touch and physical touch. And I feel like for you guys, this is something that you're having to very much protect. So when it comes to your body, you're very kind of slow to kind of be very connected to somebody intimately with your body. I feel like what will be really helpful for you, if you rush too much into this with others, with somebody you're romantically or sexually attracted to, excuse me, I feel like you're really learning to slow down and put your body first. I feel like you're really learning to put your body, and I feel like how to feel your most sexiest self, how to embrace this sexy side, is to look after your body, to look after your physical self, to look after your mind, to possibly have therapy in whatever way or form, because obviously therapy is completely different. You can get talking therapy, energy therapy, crystal therapy. There's all types of therapy, and therapy doesn't have to mean like sitting down talking about your feelings. It can literally be a sense of relief, a sense of release and relief, where you can authentically be yourself and be more exposed within yourself, feeling more vulnerable. And I feel like for you guys, you're learning to let your body be seen more. You might have been quite insecure about your body. Something that makes you feel very sexy is to wear something on your body that makes you feel like you, not for anyone else, not literally. And if it is for other people, make sure it is about you as well. So if you're wearing something that maybe you're a tiny bit uncomfortable in, but you're like, do you know what, I feel really sexy, maybe it's a little bit out of your comfort zone, keep pushing yourself with things like that. Possibly try different makeup looks, try different like nail art looks, or paint your nails or do some self-care with your body, because I feel like you're possibly quite an emotional person and you kind of neglect that body part of you. So when you do that, you actually manifest this gorgeous energy of releasing, and you release this need to be so restricted on yourself. You might have quite strong Capricorn placements as well, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. It's about kind of responsibility, structure, reputation, status and masculinity and things like that. But with a Capricorn, the alternative kind of negative side of Capricorn is they can be so restricted that they never get anything done, or they're always so restricted that they have to be this kind of controlled kind of energy, where I feel like when you do that, you're letting go, and your life will move forward much more quicker when you decide to put yourself first, okay, which is a really important part of you. Okay, so let's get you some more tarot. Let's see what else you can do to really embrace your sexual side. So your sexual side, also I just want to say, your sexual side doesn't have to be literal sex. It can be, it can also be your body. It can also be how confident you feel, how kind of vulnerable you are. It's all of the things, you know, it's how creative you are, things like that. Okay, so for a lot of you guys, if you're single, you are most likely going to meet someone. When you embrace this side of you, you're going to start to manifest people who are on your wavelength. And because you have this sense of justice, I feel like if you bring this in a more positive light in terms of making sure everything's fair in your relationships, you're going to start to manifest people who are really on your side. And I feel like you have had a very strong sense of injustice in your relationships in terms of romantic, friendship, family, all the connections, possibly co-workers as well. You've always been the one to be the last of things. So I feel like when you start to figure out that you are your own person, you are also equal to everyone else, you're going to start to embrace this gorgeous energy. And I love this, the fact that she's a fairy. I love that. That's so gorgeous. So we have the Three of Swords. This is the energy of heartbreak and intensity. And I feel like underneath this is feeling like you're not good enough. And I feel like you're really learning to let go of that, learn to let go of that uncomfortable energy where you feel like that you're not kind of in the forefront of everything. You're kind of let down and you're in the background, but you're not going to be like that anymore. To embrace your authentic side is to really learn about yourself, learn about how your body is triggered by things. Possibly don't drink or eat things that your body gets triggered by. Choose to have responsibility over yourself. It's kind of like that Capricorn energy again. It's kind of like really taking responsibility for yourself. That is going to make you feel really, really sexy. It's going to make you feel extremely confident, and you're going to start to also figure out new things about yourself because you're allowing more energy to come through. I also feel like you're a very, very sexual person. You're somebody who really loves to be intimate with people. You're somebody who takes sex quite seriously, I feel, which is a really beautiful aspect to you. And I feel like that's something you should not just shove under the rug. If that is something that is extremely important to you, then do not just diminish it when you are in relationships. Like really make sure that that person that you're with really understands that and you have the same equal balance. And I think this is very, very important for you guys, because a lot of the time your sexuality you've just shoved under the rug because you feel like it's not important, or your sexuality has been kind of at the forefront and your personality has kind of been pushed back because it's kind of like a way to get people to like you. And I feel like this is a really, really, really big energy of like, you are beautiful, you are an amazing human being. You do not need to be this sexual person all the time to be attractive. You're attractive when you're authentic. That's your beautiful energy. And I feel like this Five of Pentacles, music is very, very sexy to you. I feel like listen to music would be really good for you. And I'm also picking up on a certain time as well, a certain time of the day when you listen to music. If you guys are quite shy about embracing like your sexy side and kind of like getting really sexy and like dancing and stuff, maybe do it at night time when people are asleep, especially if you live with other people, and just put like some wireless headphones in, just do a little dance, because I feel like there's a need to like really embrace your sexual side. You might be somebody who's quite shy, you might be somebody who is quite kind of introverted, and it's also a really beautiful thing to be an introvert. Like I feel like people who are introverts get like a bad rep, but I feel like you guys are actually, that's actually a really beautiful thing. I think I'm getting a lot of aspects about you that you're quite uncomfortable with, like you're not very comfortable possibly with how sensitive you are or how genuine you are, and you don't really get you're not really comfortable with actually embracing those sides of you. But actually they're beautiful, they're absolutely gorgeous, and you have these things for a reason. You're an introvert for a reason, or you're an extrovert for a reason. So just let them come through, let your own personality come through. Don't worry about what other people are doing. Okay, so let's see what else is coming in for you guys, and let's see kind of how to embrace your how to embrace your most sexual side. That was one of my nail glues there falling off the table. Okay, let's see more about you guys. So I feel like definitely a lot of you guys are going to be in a health profession. I feel like you're somebody who's very connected to the moon. We have that lunar card. So you guys are really, really connected to your lunar energy. You're very nurturing, very motherly, and I feel like you kind of have to take care of people before you take care of yourself. And this is something, to be your most sexual self is to put yourself first, okay? Don't worry about what other people are doing. Don't worry about how to take care of them. You don't always have to take care of everyone all the time. Like, it's not your responsibility. You're not responsible for those people, okay? And they can look after themselves. So I feel like for you guys, when you start to be more confident about putting yourself first, you're not going to worry about what other people are doing, and you're going to be able to really connect spiritually to yourself. And when you do this, this is you connecting to your authentic self. This is you connecting to your self-care and what your needs are, not what other people's needs are. So for you guys, you could have quite a hard time making decisions, and this is because your confidence has kind of been drained from you. So it could be being around draining people could really affect this. Opening your solar plexus and opening your sacral chakra will really help you to feel much more confident. Also, if you're feeling a little bit unconfident around moving house, if you're needing to move or you're uncomfortable in your physical environment, it's really, really important to work on your root chakra in that type of environment. I feel like you guys are somebody who values very important, you're very kind of not materialistic, but when you have objects and things that are outside of you, you take them quite personally. So you like things that are possibly quite expensive or things that are just really good quality. You're very ambitious. You're somebody who takes your career very seriously, and I think for you this comes from a sense of being in control. And I think what's really sexy about you is when you are in control, you feel so great. But this sense of control isn't always something that is not always going to be attained. So the best thing for you to do is working on your root chakra will make you feel so much more attractive, because you feel that a sense of safety within yourself. And obviously you can have physical things as well, it's not saying that, but it's basically saying like you have everything within you. You're the magician, you have this gorgeous energy about you, and you can really embrace that. I really like these two cards. They're really showing me the connection between the 2nd and the 10th house. And you might also be a Taurus as well. We've got a lot of Taurus energy here with the 2nd house too. We have the 2nd house of Taurus, of value, and then we have the 10th house of Capricorn. So these two are very much about your status, how you like to be seen in the world. And I feel like for you guys, I'm picking up that you can actually have a really creative career. You don't have to have something that's really serious, really intense, 9 to 5. You can actually do something that's very creative. I'm hearing have more fun, follow your passions. That's going to make you feel really sexy, because you're not feeling restricted, okay? And you don't have to do everything that everyone else tells you to do. You could have had quite a restrictive or religious family where you felt like you had to do things, and this is basically you're coming away from that, relearning things, I'm hearing. So you also have duality. So this is about balance. That Justice card is coming out, which is lovely again. So we also have the Divine Feminine, which is so important. Allowing yourself to be a sexual feminine. If you aren't a female, I'm talking to my guys as well, everyone has feminine and masculine energy. But with this card, I'm speaking more about my females here, because, or my feminines, because you guys, if you are more on the feminine side, or you are a female, or you're a feminine female, you guys, we have been pushed down for so many freaking years through this Capricorn age and through the previous ages. And there's a sense of like the feminine energy being pushed down. This is a really good time for you to embrace your feminine energy. And when you do, you will be so sexy. And how you can do this is embracing your solar plexus. So your solar plexus is who you are and who you want to be in the world. And this is to do with your goals. And the more you do that, the more freedom you'll feel, because you'll allow yourself to be yourself. And you don't have to have, not everything has to have a goal. Not everything has to have a kind of checklist. Like, you can do things without having a result. Like for me, like I'm a photographer, and for me, like I've been taught, like I've been to uni for photography, I've been in like school for photography, and because the education system is so Capricorn ruled, very Capricorn age, it's very much like structure and having to do things, it's so uncomfortable. But your creativity should not have a label on it, okay? So for me, like I really had to undo a lot of the programming around my creativity, because for me, like when I did it as a course, it was basically told like you have to do this certain creative thing to get this grade, therefore if you don't, you're not good enough. And for me, when I had to undo a lot of the programming, when I started to do photography that I really enjoyed without worrying about what is it going to be like, having to control everything, it actually worked out so much better. And I actually had probably the best photos I would ever have, because they're so much more authentic and it really shines through, which is really beautiful. So that's the same for any of you guys. If you want a creative career, really go for it, you know. And also I feel like you'll get your best ideas when you become really unapologetically yourself. Okay, and there's a sense of freedom there as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you'd like a private reading, please look down below. Please contact me before you purchase a reading. Also, if you would like to check out my crystal shop, I have things like these beauties here on this on this spread here, these 2 crystals. And I also have apophyllite. This is a really beautiful crystal. I love apophyllite. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a lovely, lovely day, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hello, group number 3. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get started with your reading. So let's see how you can embrace your most sexiest self and what is most sexiest about you. So let's see what's going on. So we have the Sexual Magic Tarot here. So you guys have the 9 of Wands. Beautiful. Really letting stuff go. That's amazing. And then we also have the 5th house. Okay. First of all, I'm getting this massive sense of anxiety and kind of tingling around my solar plexus and my sacral chakra. You guys take your life very, very seriously, and I feel like you'll learn to let this go. You'll learn to embrace more of your creativity and to let go of results. I feel like you guys have this sense of like nurturing other people, but it can come from like a very controlling place. So this is something you're learning, is to let go. And this is something you've been taught possibly from childhood or from friends or other people outside of you. This doesn't feel like something that is inside of you. So I feel like for you, the best thing you can do is to nurture by letting go. So by letting go of things that you cannot control and being your most authentic self, not worrying about what other people are doing, and being extremely creative, okay? Because the 9th house is all about kind of that letting go before you, that sense of like, I'm going to let go of this now, but I'm just not ready to get there. So I feel like you guys are really kind of on the verge of letting something go, which is really beautiful. And I feel like this is all about you guys kind of coming into your sense of power, okay? So for you guys, the 5th house is all about Leo, and Leos definitely suffer with creativity kind of withdrawal. So for you guys, your creativity is where your sexuality comes from. Like your 5th house is your sexuality as well, because your creativity is sexual. It's a sexual thing. It comes from passion. So when the 9 of Wands is upright, it can be about like perseverance and close to success. When you are your most creative, you are so sexy. When you are your most authentic, when you're most free, when you feel like you're the most creative person in the room, that is when you are the most sexiest. So for you, be drawn to things that you're naturally drawn to. Don't worry about what other people are doing. There's a sense of like needing to copy or kind of like look at what other people are doing. Do not worry about that. Push your energy away from it and try to own your energy. Something that's really worked for me as a sensitive is putting my hands on my heart and saying, I own my energy. I bring my energy back. I bring my energy back to me. This is something that I repeat to myself quite a lot, because my energy can get very much kind of scattered, because I'm very sensitive and I pick up on other people's shit that I do not want to pick up on. But I feel like for you also is you're naturally extremely caring, and I feel like you have possibly been drawn to people who you feel like you need to fix or alter. And when you're the most sexiest self, you let people just do what they need to do. And you're there authentically. You're not there to change or move people or kind of like compromise on who you are. When you don't compromise on yourself, you become much more sexy and you become much more just embracing and letting go of who you are, which is beautiful. Letting go, it does a letting go of like the controlling energy of who you are. And there's nothing wrong with a bit of control. You know, control is what we all naturally desire. So for you, if you can be more creative, you're allowing more of this romance, more of this childlike spirit, more self-expression into your life, which is really gorgeous. And how you can do this is to really open up your sacral chakra, your root and your solar. The main one I'm getting is your sacral chakra, okay? This is about your play, your sexual joy, all of those things, and also embracing how sexual you are. If you're somebody who's quite shy about being sexual, your sexual energy is it's just so sacred. Like, everyone has it, and there's nothing wrong with sexuality. There's just people and like structures that basically say like, oh, sex is bad, it's taboo, and that's just what society's put on us to control us. It's not real. Like, our sexual energy creates life, it creates children. Like, how can that be wrong? So for you guys, it's all about your innate power to be yourself. That is so perfect. And I feel like for you guys, it's really, really important also to open yourself up to new types of creativity. So if you naturally get drawn to something possibly on Instagram or Facebook, then actually go with it. Because you know when Facebook or whatever kind of listens to you in your phone and advertises things to you that, you know, oh, look at that, she's painting, I love that. You get advertised things that, you know, you've been talking about to a friend, or because your phone listens to you. If you don't know already, your phone listens to you, and it gives you, oh my god, my car just went everywhere. It basically, it advertises things to you that you think you need. So basically advertisers, you know, get more money. So for you, use that to your advantage. It's kind of like the universe, where if you put things out to the universe that are positive or things that you kind of authentically want, it will come to you. It might not come to you in the way that you think it does, but it will come to you in a way where you can really kind of it will just come to you when you let go of the need to be everything and everyone to everyone. Okay, sorry guys, my words are kind of like all over the place today. I don't know why, but hopefully this is making sense. So I feel like discovery is really important for you guys, like learning about stuff. And I don't mean like school learning, because that's boring. Like, I feel like for you, learning in a way that's fun for you. So whether it be like, for me, I'm very visual, so I actually learn through my oracle cards, I learn through pictures, videos, I learn through anything that's very visual. So if you are somebody that learns and loves to learn, or loves to just find out stuff, just go with it. That's what I'm really picking up. This is what makes you your sexual self, your sexiest self, because you are somebody who, you're most likely a leader, and you might not even realize it, especially if you're an introvert, but you are actually a leader. A lot of people look up to you, and this is actually a very sexy quality. And when I say sexy, it doesn't even mean like a romantic sense. It's about you and your confidence. Sexuality is a confidence thing. It's about you being confident in yourself. And I feel like for you, it's something about your skin. I'm picking up you might not be happy with your skin color, your skin tone, your skin texture, possibly have scars or marks. I'm picking up on like a bumpy texture, maybe like eczema. This is actually a really beautiful quality. I'm picking up that this makes you different. This makes you you. And you are a human being in a squishy body. Your body is not going to be 100% perfect. And what is perfect? Maybe freckles are perfect. Maybe scars are perfect. When you have clear-cut skin, your body is not, that's not normal, that's not natural. When you grow, your skin grows, your body stretches, that's completely normal. And if you do have absolutely perfect skin with no bumps or anything, that's even beautiful as well. It's all the same. All of us are completely different. It's about embracing your difference. And also I feel like for you guys is to let yourself be more vulnerable with yourself. So allow yourself to like look in the mirror, maybe possibly naked, and just look at yourself. Even if you don't like yourself, and of course do whatever makes you feel comfortable. Do not, don't have to do anything that I say. But if this is really kind of drawing you in, then go for it. I feel like this will help you be your most sexiest self. Embrace your natural nudity. Like, that's what I'm picking up on. And this is to do with your emotional self, like literally allowing yourself to be completely vulnerable, like emotionally, physically, and just allow yourself to really look at yourself in an authentic light and not to judge or compare yourself. Okay, this can take a little bit of time, but I do feel like this is something that you really need to do, and especially authentically, like being creatively messy. Like, you don't have to do things that are very rigid. Okay, so we then have the Magician. I love this card. So this is going to be you, I feel like, in the next six months to about 8 months, when you start to really embrace your sexual side. And this is all about your sacral chakra, your sacrum. This is where we hold babies. This is where we hold our sexual organs. This is where we hold our beautiful feminine kundalini power. Okay, so obviously I'm masculine as well. It's also where we have our drive, our our drive, our ambition. So for you guys, when you're feeling a little bit less ambitious, slow down. Okay, the best thing for you to do is to recognize that you are already perfect. Okay, when you were born, you're already perfect. Society is a piece of poo, and I do not like it. Society is not a community. Society is a thing that is controlling. We are basically like rats in a cage, and we're like, that's what society is. When we become more in a community, we will start to think, wow, there's a lot of things that was put on me that weren't actually true to make me buy stuff and to make me be a certain way. If you can try to be this now, that will really help you to be your most sexiest self, because you have something nobody else has. And that's what makes you you. And people are drawn to your energy, because when you exude this natural, like, I'm going to be myself completely and utterly without any judgment, people are naturally drawn to you. Okay, and I'm feeling for you guys, if something starts to feel a bit too hard, it starts to feel like you're trying to control something, or there's a lot of pressure around it, slow down. Okay, and we also have the Ten of Pentacles here. You're also on the verge of kind of bringing in something new, which is more about your success as well. I feel like you guys are going to start to become more successful when you become more authentically creative as well. I have this sense of you drawing something or making something with your hands, and it being like a really kind of satisfying experience. I feel this need for you guys to, you're learning how to be independent. You're learning how to just go with the waves of life. And I feel like for you guys, if you can bring in your tools as much as you can, that being like possibly working on your emotional self by journaling, therapy, crystals, sage. This is why we have all these things in spirituality, because most of us are extremely sensitive. We need all this stuff to kind of help us stay sane, because a lot of us are very much in our third chakra. third chakra, no, our third eye. So we have this card I'm really drawn to. This hasn't really come up a lot in the last readings, in the last group. So this, I feel like, is very much about you recognizing that every relationship should be balanced, okay? And when it's not, I feel like you need to kind of walk away from it or really analyze if it's something that you really want, because I feel like for you, you've possibly are lacking this dominant energy. And when I say dominant, I mean that this authentic masculine energy, not something that's controlling or intense. It feels like you are completely allowing yourself to be yeah, it does feel like an intense energy, but not where you're controlling other people. It feels like I'm authentically this deep, intense masculine energy, and bringing your masculine energy more in. I feel like for a lot of you guys, there's a sense of like identity, that you're kind of confused about your identity a lot of the time. And it's because you're unlearning a lot of trauma that's been put on you. And there's a sense that there's going to be a massive awakening for you guys very soon with this Uranus card, which is lovely. And embrace your transformation. Your transformation doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be up and down, you know, and it's not going to be, you know, one straight line. And if you expect it to be a straight line, you might be a little bit disappointed. So I feel like for you guys, just letting every day be completely different, especially if you are very sensitive, is going to be a little bit more difficult for you to kind of have every day be the same. So just try to look after yourself as well. Yeah, transformation. You guys are very good at transforming. You guys possibly have some sexual kind of energy in there in terms of like Scorpionic energy or Capricorn. And I feel like for you guys, your transformation for you, it's been a very transformative life for you, but you're actually really good at it. You're very good at transforming. You're very good at changing up yourself to improve yourself, which is something very sexy about you. You're always changing, but it's not like you're super fluid. It just feels like you are very mature, and you're really trying to take responsibility for who you are and what you actually want and how you want to actually live your life, which is beautiful. Opening your solar plexus will really help you to become more confident. And we also have commitment as well, committing yourself to things. This is something that's really sexy. It's a very sexy quality when you're very committed, because a lot of people will find trust in you, and you find trust in other people when you're committed to them as well. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I also feel like you're going to find your most sexy self when you transform, because I feel like you guys need to give yourself more credit, because you transform so much that you need to kind of allow yourself to be more you. Like when you transformed, it's a really beautiful thing, but I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit through the transformations, okay? So don't be so hard on yourself. You can't do everything at once. Take one step at a time, baby steps, and don't rush anything. So thank you so much for watching. All my private readings down below. Before you purchase a reading, please contact me as my rates change, and also I have a crystal shop if you would like to have a look at that. Then all the information is down below. Thank you so much, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye. Hello, grid number 4. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see what is most sexy about you and how to embrace it. So let's see what we have. We have the Sexual Magic Tarot here. So this is the Queen of Swords. Lovely. So a lot of you guys could have air in your chart, or be somebody who loves to communicate, loves to really express yourself through verbally. Okay. And then when we have Scorpio. Lovely. I love this card. Especially, I'm a Scorpio, but I just love this card. So for you guys, this is all about rebirth. So Scorpio is all about transformation. It's the 8th house. It's a very deep sign. It's ruled by Pluto and Mars. So we have this incubation period of this new kind of regeneration, and then we have life and death basically, and Scorpio is kind of in the middle of it. We then have this fire. So Scorpio has loads and loads of different elements to it, and that's why people can get quite like nervous or scared around a Scorpio, because they have very intense energy. They're very dedicated. There's somebody who can really kind of go all in with something, and fixed signs are very much like that. So for you guys, that is your most sexiest quality. You're somebody who's very intense. You're somebody who has very big morals. Like, you're somebody who doesn't let your morals kind of take over, in terms of like, when you want something, you don't just like take no for an answer, which can kind of have a big sense of stubbornness, but it can actually be really effective, because basically when you want something, you just freaking go for it. You're very determined. You're very emotionally driven. And I also feel like you guys you kind of know exactly what you want. I feel like you like to do things by yourself. You're very independent, and you're somebody who is very observant. You're very observant of your environment, of people. You like to observe and kind of see what people are doing. That's something that just really interests you. So I also feel like you guys are the queens or the kings of transformation. You guys love to transform. You love to have your hair in different styles. You possibly have like different types of hair. Like for me, I have curly hair, but sometimes I straighten it. It's that kind of like hearing 2 for 2, like kind of like that, or like changing alternative, that sort of thing. For you guys, you like to try out different things as well. You don't really take no for an answer when you want to try something new. And I feel like this is a really sexy quality, because a lot of people are very jealous of this, because you have an innate confidence with trying new things. You are possibly a little bit nervous about it, but when you actually go for it, you go full force. And when you come into connections, people will really, really love the fact that you're so dedicated to others. And I feel like this has actually been quite a part of you that you found quite negative, because a lot of people haven't really appreciated how beautifully committed and how beautifully connected you are to yourself. And I feel like for you guys, when you learn that, you know, you don't have to have approval of other people to know that you're worthy, and you don't have to make yourself smaller to fit into other people's boxes, then you start to become much more sexier. And I feel like a lot of you guys are really connecting possibly to scorpions, or to kind of like animals with shells, that sort of thing, or kind of like more kind of unusual animals. You might have unusual animals in your life. You might kind of be drawn to animals, or animals might be really drawn to you, and you might have a career in animals, or just be very, very fascinated by them. I feel like some of you guys might have very unusual animals in your house. You might have a snake or a rat or a scorpion or a tarantula as your pet, and you're somebody who's very different. And I feel like you really need to embrace your difference and not be kind of, I feel like in a sense of like rebellious. I feel like you don't need to be rebellious to be different. It's kind of like this energy of like, I'm going to prove them wrong, you know, I'm going to stand out because, you know, I want to be different. It's like, stand out because you want to be different. Don't do it because other people have told you you can't be different. Like, do it because you want to, not because you have to, or you have to be this different person as well. So we also have this kind of fan here, and I feel like you guys, you're really good at bigging up other people. You're very good at kind of allowing people to kind of be their best selves. You're very fiery, and you really allow the passion to kind of be driven into other people. You're very good at like driving people into their passion. Like, you're very good at like, go girl, you know, you're very kind of you're really good at compliments and things like that. So people feel very special around you. You're very good at verbally. You're very, very good at verbally. You're very verbal. And when you talk for England, okay? Even if you're not in England, you talk for England. Like, you do not stop talking. And that's something that's actually really beautiful about you, because people feel warm in your presence. Like, people feel comfortable with you. And if they don't, then most likely, you know, there's somebody who possibly isn't into that much talking. But just move away from people like that, because I feel like you're being drawn. You're going to be pushed and drawn to people who are more like you. You're not going to basically put up with any more shit. And I feel like you're learning to become much more comfortable with opening your mouth, basically. And I feel like the most sexy thing about you is you do not kind of back away from being honest. And I feel like this can come across as quite like a sharp tongue, but if you can really balance this out and be more kind of discerning with what you say, you can actually be extremely healing to a lot of people, but also very transformative. You're the sort of person that comes into people's lives, you transform it, and sometimes they go away, and that may be why connections have kind of fallen away from your life, because basically you were there to transform and help them, and then they go. But when you meet the right person or the right people, they will be there for the transformation for life. They won't be there just for like in and out. They will be the right people, and they'll stay in your life. And we also have the 7 of Cups. I feel like you guys are in quite a slow period at the moment, but this is fine. If you are feeling like things are a bit stuck, that's okay. This is just a learning period where you're learning to be more of yourself, which is great. And it might take a little bit of time to kind of revert back to your old self. And when I say old self, I mean like your authentic self, without any of this kind of like trauma or anything that you have to unlearn, okay? So I feel like for you guys, you are very nurturing. You always like to nurture. You're kind of the mum or the dad of the group. And I feel like you guys are very, very empathic. You're very sensitive. You can really sense when the energy changes. For you guys, you're really going to learn to be the leader in the situation. If you feel like something changes with somebody else, you possibly ask how they're feeling, but you don't feel the need to change them or alter them. You just kind of like observe, and it's like, okay, that's fine. If you're somebody who feels the need to kind of alter and change other people, and it feels like you have to do that out of like control, possibly of codependency or things like that, you're learning to just be yourself and let them be them. You're there to help, but you're not there to control. And control isn't always a bad thing. It's something we can learn from our parents as well. But I feel like for you guys, this is something you're learning to kind of be comfortable with. You're trying to befriend this kind of intensity. And because when you kind of go against it, and you're kind of like, I'm too sensitive, I'm too this and too that, if you go against it, it will get worse. It will get more intense, it will get more worse, and it will kind of consume you and make you feel like you're doing something wrong, but you're not doing anything wrong, okay? When you're your most sexiest self, you are you, and you are standing in your power. You're standing within yourself, and you just do things because you want to do them. You're not having permission from somebody else. You're not waiting to get permission from yourself. You're just doing it like that, okay? I'm picking up this affirmation or something. I'm just picking up on a message. It's like God chose me to be me. And if I'm not being myself, then I'm kind of, there's no room for me to not be myself, because I feel like for you guys, everyone's already taken, you know, in terms of their energy, everyone's already taken with their own personality. If you're being somebody else, then how can someone love you for you? Because they won't know who you are. I hope that makes sense. I don't know what that was, but God was kind of, there was an energy of God kind of coming in there, which I don't really attest to God. I'm more of the universe kind of gal. I mean, God is pretty much the same thing, but for me, I attest more to the universe. So that's definitely for a lot of you guys who are more on the religious side or more kind of turn more towards God for your beliefs. Okay, so let's see what else is most sexy about you. What can you embrace in your life? I feel like you guys are the most sexiest when you discover and learn things. So you might be somebody who's very much into astrology, things that are very deep, things that have a lot of layers. You might have a lot of Sagittarius in your chart as well, or Leo. You're also somebody who you get a lot of energy from being around people. You might be an introvert, but you're also somebody who you take your connections very seriously, and you're somebody who really gets a lot of energy out of being around social events and people who are very passionate. You're somebody who loves to be very passionate, and then you're then connected to people who are also very passionate. Make sure you're not around people who drain your energy, and if they are draining your energy, it's best to kind of step back from them, because you're very passionate, and if you're asserting yourself in the wrong direction, it can get really intense, because you are most likely a fixed sign, or you're somebody who's very intense personality, and if your intensity is kind of pushed to the wrong kind of path, then it can be too much, because whatever you put yourself in, it's kind of all in or all out. So when you're all in with something that's more positive, it can have a really positive effect, but obviously if it's the opposite, it'll have a negative effect. So if you guys, your home, very important. Your home is where you feel possibly your most sexiest. You possibly are the hostess or the host of a lot of parties and kind of like gatherings. You get a lot of your needs met when you have the attention on you. And I feel like this is something that can be really, really good for your energy. So something that can be really in a positive light for Leo is to really be openly yourself, be 100% your own personality. Leos can kind of have this need to like be seen and kind of force their energy onto other people to be seen. But if you just allow yourself to be you, people will naturally be drawn to you. I'm kind of getting an image of like a girl kind of sitting in a party, and she's very kind of like introverted, and she's kind of nervous to be herself. She's kind of sitting on the side, she's kind of got a little drink, and then, you know, in like films where like another girl or a guy comes up to the girl and kind of sits there and they have like a little chat and have a lovely like in-depth conversation. That is what's going to happen with you guys. It's almost like I'm seeing also where you're fishing and you're waiting for the fish to be caught, and you're kind of waiting and waiting, and suddenly you get a catch. It's kind of like that. It's like you have to kind of wait for a little bit, but in that waiting period, if things are slow, that just means you're recalibrating, essentially. It's kind of like when, I'm getting so many metaphors, like, you know, when the internet is kind of like doing that little circular thing, and it's like loading. The loading can be annoying, and it can be really annoying for those of you who are very impatient, especially with technology. But things like this, if you have to wait for it, it's most likely going to be more worth it, because it's basically, as I say, you're recalibrating, you're adjusting yourself, kind of like tuning a radio. That's basically what you're basically doing at the moment. So if you haven't really got that many people around you in your life, you're not doing anything wrong, you're not missing anything. Basically right now, this is a time of you working on yourself, and this is going to make you be your most sexiest self. And also for you guys, having a passion is very important. So if you have a lot of things you're interested in, freaking go for it. Do not stop yourself from being passionate. Okay, let's see what's the most sexiest thing about you. Let's see what you can bring into your life more. Presence, being present in the moment, being very much like there in the room, really kind of listening to what people are saying to you. Because you guys, if you can take on a lot of information, you guys can be probably like a really wise person. You most likely are extremely wise, and you're somebody who can really own a room. And if you're really present, a lot of people will be really drawn to you, because you're no longer worrying about what other people are thinking of you. And also when you're in the energy of joy, like the 5th house, your childlike energy, your childlike spirit, joy, expression, this is where your 5th house is. So the more fun you can have, the more you're going to feel more free and more sexy. And when with your reflection energy, try not to focus on what other people are doing and how well they're doing it. Get inspired, but do not try to be them, because those people are already taken. You know, their personality is already taken. You are building yourself up, and it may take a little bit of time, but it's a sense of finding your own identity. Okay, I'm seeing like a cupcake and I'm hearing with a cherry on top. So you're kind of the person, you're kind of the cupcake right now, and you're building like the extra bits on top, but right now you haven't got the extra bits. So you're kind of like learning where to get them from and how to attract them. And that is this energy. This is what you're making of yourself. And for also some of you guys, you've had a lot of transformations in your relationships and your friendships. And if you are lacking in a community right now, when you focus more on you and go into your transformation, you will manifest these people because it's on the other side of that transformation. And with this reflection card, whatever is being reflected to you is something that you're working on right now. So especially those of you who are very sensitive to your environment, go in nature. It will really help you to come back to yourself and come back to your energy. We also have the third chakra of the self. It's who you are, it's who you want to be, it's setting a course towards your goals. So this is a chakra you could really work on to become your most sexual self. And also your sacral chakra and root can also be something to really work on, especially if you have a lot of areas in your chart, because there's a lot of like root chakra kind of connection there. So thank you so much for watching, guys. If you'd like a private reading, all the information is down below along with my crystal shop. If you'd like a reading, please make sure to message me before you purchase, as my rates change all the time. Thank you so much for being here. Crystal shop and rates are down below. I hope you have a lovely day and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.